There are three major concepts in object-oriented programming. Number one is encapsulation. Encapsulation is which the data and the methods or functions that operate on the data are in the same class. Number two is inheritance. In inheritance, the derived class gets everything that the base class has, with the exception of the private variables or private methods or functions. So we have that relationship. And then the third one is polymorphism, which we'll talk about today. Poly means many and morph means forms. So it means many forms. It basically means the same message, and here we would say method or function call sent to a variety of objects cause a different response. So in this particular example, this is an example that's in your textbook, and we want to take a look at it now. It is tutorial 11.2. and it begins on page 677, and you'll see the code following. So what we have here on the right-hand side in the Solution Explorer, under the namespace, polymorphism, you'll notice every one of the classes has that namespace. It's a location. We have an animal file, a cat, and dog file. So we have three different objects that we're talking about here, and then we have our form. So let's look at animal first. So if we look at the animal file, again, it is class animal, and animal, this is public animal, and it accepts a species coming in. This is the constructor for animal. We know that because it has the same name as the class name. We have an additional property here for species, and then we have a method, and the method says virtual. Uses the word virtual, and it has make sound. Okay, so let's see how these things fall in place with the other classes. So this is animal. Now we'll go to dog. So dog, it says that dog extends animal. So that means animal is the base class and dog is the derived class. So here is the constructor for dog, and notice the constructor for dog calls the base constructor, that is animal's constructor, and passes a name. So then we have a name here as a property, and we have the word override. So what's happening here is in the animal class, you see what is called a virtual method or function. That means that it can be overridden. And so what happens now, if you're an animal, you will print or show grr as your make sound. If you are a dog, dog will make the sound woof woof. So this is public override void. We should see the same thing if we look in the cat's file. So here's cat. Cat also is derived from animal. We see the exact same thing here with the call to the superclass. We see override void make sound. So we're going to override or replace the method or function body in the subclass or the derived class. Then we have form 1. Form 1 is our base class. If we look at the form design, we have 4 buttons. We have create an animal, create a dog, create a cat, and exit. So this creates each one of these different classes. So this would be an animal, this would be a dog, and a cat. Now remember, a dog and cat is an animal because of that inheritance relationship. But what's going to happen here is when we send a message to an animal, we will make the sound grr. When we send the message to dog, we will say woof woof. And we send the message to a cat, we will say meow. Remember, polymorphism says the same message makes sound sent to a variety of objects. Animal, dog, and cat will cause a variety of responses. And exit will exit our program. Let's go to the form CS and see what happens here. Okay, so we see a method called show animal information in the form. Show animal information will show the animal information, and it will print species and the species of the particular animal. Remember, all of the classes are animals, and then it will call make sound. Then we see create animal. We create an animal. To create an animal is the reserved word or the class name animal, the name of our animal, new animal, and we pass it a name that is in here. Then this show animal actually shows what? Calls the method above, and we print the species. Cat does and dog does the same thing. It mirrors that. Each one of them creates an object of themselves, prints the name, and shows that animal information, which is the species and the sound. So let's run our program. Okay, so let's say create animal. That's the generic. That's the base class, the super class. So it says regular animal. That's who it is. And if we say OK, then the message is grr. Now we want to create a dog. To do that, we get the dog's name is Fido. We get the species as a dog, and the sound is woof woof. Then to create the class, we get kitty, cat, and meow. And then we can exit it. So the idea here is with same message, show animal information, and also get the name, and also print this value out to make sound. Each one of these causes a different sound. Same message, make sounds into a variety of objects. Animal, dog, and cat produces a variety of responses.